नमः ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात् ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः. Namaskar, my dear friends. This is video number 20 on Bhagwan Sri Sathya Sai Baba's Divine Discourses for the sadhakas pursuing the sadhana of self-realization leading to liberation. This video starts with the topic Let conscience rule your actions. There is no meaning in worshipping God as Satyaswarupa, the embodiment of truth, and not adhering to truth in daily life. Dharma, righteousness is born from truth. This righteousness emanates from the heart. Righteousness promotes self-satisfaction. It is an expression of self-consciousness. Have faith in the promptings of this divine consciousness. No one should act against the dictates of his conscience. Acting in violation of the conscience is evil. Action according to the conscience is righteous. True worship consists therefore in doing what is right as dictated by your conscience. Diverse between thought and speech is ungodly. There should be complete accord between thought, word, and deed. God is only one. Your forms of worship, rituals, and beliefs are purely personal and do not relate to the universal. Divinity means that which is whole, embracing. The one divine is present in all beings. Every being is filled with truth and love. There is no one without love. The love may find outlets in different ways, but it is essentially one. That love is God. Do not go against that love. Though God may be worshipped in various forms, it is essential to recognize the unity that subsumes all of them. Worship may assume any form, but worship itself is one and the same. Likewise, the forms of the divine may be varied, but the divine principle is only one Atma. Only the unchanging love is true devotion. Today, there is only one important thing that you have to take note of. Give up the delusion that the divine is in some remote place. Have the faith I am God. When you have the faith that you are divine, you are unlikely to go astray. You will pursue the right path. Believe that God is in every human being as declared by the Vedas and the Upanishads. Mere scholarship does not make a man a pandit, a man of knowledge. Panditha sam adarshanaha. Panditas are those who see everything with an equal eye. Pandits should be judged by what they practice and not by their external appendages or what they preach or write. Regard yourselves as children of God. There is really no difference between the avatars and yourselves except with regard to the number of aspects of the divine present in each one. These aspects can be enhanced by right conduct and by developing divine love. That is not true love, which wanes from moment to moment and waxes from time to time. Only the love that is unchanging and shines brightly always in the heart is true love. It is unaffected by joy or sorrow, praise or blame. Such love is true devotion. A love that grows or declines accordingly to varying circumstances is not true love at all. When one derives some great benefit or his prayers are fulfilled, he installs more pictures for worship. But if his desires are not fulfilled, he removes the he removes the pictures. Can this be genuine devotion? Get rid of selfishness by adoration of God. All the divine principles, Brahma, Isa, and Vishnu, are to be found in man. Brahma represents the creative principle. Isa, Shiva, is represented by the heart. The Buddhi, intellect, represents by all pervading Vishnu principle. Similarly, the three divine modes, Yantra, Mantra, and Tantra, are also found in man. The body is Yantra, machine. All limbs in a body are part of machine. Our breath is a mantra. With each breath, the mantra Soham, he is I, is pronounced. Our heart is Tantra, the directing power. Have the firm faith that the divinity is present in the human form. Perform right actions befitting the human form. Eschew significance, the attachment and hatred arising from it. The way to get rid of selfishness is adoration of God. This discourse was made on Bhagwan's 63rd birthday in the Purna Chandra Auditorium, 23 November 1988. Discourse number 34. Love, the key to human unity. The root cause of all difficulties experienced by man is forgetting his spiritual reality and identifying himself with his body. The body is only the vesture of the indwelling spirit. By immersing himself in body consciousness, man develops egoism and possessiveness, which result in prompting many bad qualities. He forgets his inherent divinity and fails to use the senses and organs he is endowed with for the purpose of the divine. Two different characteristics are to be found among men. One characteristic, which is rather common, is for one to delude himself that he is a good man with many virtues, intelligence, and talents. The other quality, which is rare, is recognition of the good qualities in others, their merits, abilities, and good deeds, and appreciate their ideals. Jesus belonged to the second category. He saw the good qualities in others, rejoiced over their virtues, and shared his joy with others. In his 12th year, Jesus and his parents, Joseph and Mary, happened to go to Jewish festival in Jerusalem. In the jostling crowds, Jesus got separated from his parents. After a frantic search, Mary found him in a temple listening to a speech of the high priest. When Mary told Jesus about the anxiety that they felt when they missed him, Jesus replied, "Why should you worry about me when I am with God who is my Father? Why should you have any fear on my account?" Jesus thus revealed that he regarded himself as the Son of God. Jesus prayed to God for three things. Jesus grew up as Nazareth till he reached 30. After Joseph's passing, Jesus sought his mother's permission to embark on his divine mission. He got baptized by John the Baptist and spent 40 days in penance in a forest. During the penance, he prayed to God for three things. 1. He should be blessed with the quality of loving equally everyone. 2. He should have the strength and forbearance to suffer patiently any indignity or persecution that he might be subjected to by anyone. 3. He should be enabled to use his God given body wholly in the service of God. After 40 days, Jesus emerged from his penance with the faith that his prayers had been granted. Jesus encountered the fishermen at Galilee who became the first disciple. He told them that he had come to establish the reign of love on earth and that they would be his helpers in his mission. He spoke to them about the preciousness of human birth, preciousness of human birth, and urged them to seek the kingdom of God within themselves. By the way of illustration, Christ told them the following parable. In a river, the water is flowing in a swift current, but even the tiny fish are able to swim in it and move about merrily. In the same river, a huge elephant caught in the rapids is likely to get washed away or drowned in spite of its enormous size. Whatever the speed of the current, the small fish are able to swim freely in the river and enjoy themselves, but an elephant is unable to survive in it. The reason is what you need for survival in a river is not bulk but the ability to swim. Likewise, man who is caught up in the ocean of worldly existence, samsara, needs not so much metaphysics, scholarship, or detachment as the grace of divine love. Without faith in God, one cannot experience bliss. Without any knowledge of Vedanta, if one is blessed with God's love, he can surmount all problems of life. Without faith in God, all scholarship, wealth, or name and fame are of no avail. He cannot experience bliss. Christ also taught that the body should be used for recognizing the indwelling spirit and not to protect itself. It is the mark of ignorance to pamper the body and ignore the spirit within. If a tiny sugar crystal is mixed in a heap of sand, even the most intelligent person will not be able to separate the sugar from the sand and recover it. But without any extraordinary intelligence, an ant is able to mark its way to the particle of sugar in the sand heap and relish its sweetness. The ant is aware of the sweetness of sugar and is able to get at the sugar even in a heap of sand. Likewise, man should seek to distinguish between the permanent and transient and realize what is everlasting. Man is endowed with the capacity to discriminate between the permanent and the evanescent, but unfortunately, instead of using the capacity, he is caught up in the delusions of the phenomenal world and is wasting his life. You must adhere to truth and not succumb to falsehood or unrighteousness. You must face with courage the vicissitudes of life. You must love even your enemies. Universal love transcends all other virtues. Love is the supreme virtue, declared Jesus. Only love of God is real love. Jesus taught that God is love. Instead of recognizing this basic truth, men are allowing hatred, envy, and other evil qualities to pollute their love. Man is gifted with the quality of love not to express it from selfish purposes but to direct it towards God. Jesus declared that there was nothing great about returning good for good. They should do good even to those who harm them. As Jesus went on with His preaching and drew multitudes towards him. Some of the priests and those in authority grew envious at his popularity. This happens in all countries. They started persecuting him and charging him with treason. Jesus, however, continued up to the end to carry on his mission of love and righteousness, first as the messenger of God and later as the Son of God. There is a reason for anyone coming in the human form. This may not be known to all. Only the divine knows the real purpose. Everyone should regard himself as a messenger of God and try to lead an ideal life. This means that one has to give up selfishness and self-interest. This may not be easy, but with God's grace, it should be possible to progress towards self-realization gracefully. Love is the means of developing devotion and achieving liberation apart from other things. Only the love of God is real love. It is the royal road for man to realize the divinity in him and everyone. Sai love unifies all from different countries. Here is an example of the power of love. Today in this hall are gathered people from many countries. They speak different languages and adopt different religions and culture and have different dresses, manners and customs. Forgetting all these differences, they are all moving here as brothers and sisters because of their love for Sai, which has unified them. They are expressing the joy of oneness because of the love in their hearts. When there is no love, there is hatred. Faith in God promotes love. Love leads to peace. Peace prepares the way for truth. Living in truth, man experiences bliss, which is divine. Where there is faith, there is love. Where there is love, there is peace. Where there is peace, there is truth. Where there is truth, there is bliss. Where there is bliss, there is God. Hence, faith has to be strengthened. Many forms, but one God. The divine manifests himself in many forms. God is worshipped in many forms for the joy to be derived from it. In ancient Rome, many gods were worshipped as in Bharata. At that time, there was no belief in one God. Then came Christianity. The concept of unity in diversity came to be accepted. In ancient Greece, Plato, the disciple of Socrates, was the first to point out the immanence of the divine in everything in the universe. Truth is one, regardless of the nation or religion. Truth or divinity cannot change according to place or circumstance. That's why it is said, truth is God. That truth is within us. Vedanta, transcendental knowledge, has described it as Sattva Chit Ananda, being, awareness, bliss. The names and forms of human beings may vary, but the supreme in them, the Sattva Chit Ananda, does not vary. It is eternal and changeless. Embodiments of divine love. Strike down the walls that separate man from man. Get rid of differences based on caste and creed. Develop firm faith in the oneness of humanity. Cultivate love in your hearts. Only then will the nation be united, prosperous, and happy. Look at the state of things in Bethlehem, the birthplace of Jesus. Christmas could not be celebrated there this year because of the ill feeling among the people. How unfortunate that while the rest of the world is celebrating Christmas, there should be no celebration in the place where Jesus was born. God belongs to all. He is universal. All of you have to give up differences of every kind and give no room for narrow, parochial, and national loyalties. Consider yourself as the children of one God. You may worship God in any form of your choice, but recognize the truth that God is only one. The observance of holy days like Christmas is an occasion for realizing the importance of love and harmony among human beings. It is not right to celebrate Christ's birthday by feasting, drinking, singing, and merrymaking. The ideal taught by Jesus should be put into practice. That is the right way to celebrate his birthday. Whomsoever you adore, you must try to live up to his teachings. What kind of devotion is it when the devotee does not practice what he professes? It is pseudo devotion. Remember the Lord with love. Worship Him with love. Sanctify your life with love. This discourse was given on Purna Chandra Auditorium, Christmas Day, 25th December 1988. So, this video is completed. Thank you a lot. Namaskar, my dear friends. Namaskar.